Beloved Prime Creator of all that is, in the midst of this mystery we call reality are always the many unknowns. Who are we? What is this? Why are we here? What is real? What is the truth? Many untruths and deceptions about our reality have been promulgated from the beginning of our history on this planet, this creation we call Earth. Before purchasing an art piece, also a creation, for example, we want verification, not only of the art itself, but also of the artist who created it. We have it and them assessed for their authenticity. When we meet someone, there is a gradual building of trust that comes with a learning of their integrity, their authenticity. We are on the threshold of a great unraveling of the lies and deceptions we thought and believed to be real and true. Many will be stunned, shocked, in denial, and many of us have been not so patiently waiting for the great revealing of the truths so long vaulted. We are grateful to be here, for we know we are. We are grateful for our consciousness to see the deceptions, and we are grateful to be alive at this amazing time where, however bad and troublesome the truth, we are here ready to experience only that which is real, true, and authentic. Let it be so, and so it is.
Thank you, Charlie.
My pleasure.
My name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I'm bringing this up because there is no other grand jury that is a legitimate grand jury of the people in any of the states, commonwealths, or territories of the land known as the United States of America, except the one we have on Oregon. I want to bring before that grand jury a claim against Barry Soetoro, the 44th President of the United States of Washington, District of Columbia, Inc., the color of law, governance, operating out of Washington, District of Columbia since March 1861. He's also known as Barack Hussein Obama. Now, it's complicated and it'll take me a little bit of time and it's not scripted. But I woke up this morning at 3:40 with this thought. That has some significance for me. There's a clip, and I hope it's still available on the internet, where he's being interviewed and he says, "My Muslim faith," or something similar to that. And he's cautioned that maybe he shouldn't say that. Then there's the minister or preacher in Chicago, the church he was supposed to have gone to for 20 years, that claims to be a Christian church and is not. And there's recordings of the sermons he heard there. And I hope William can find that and put that on here too, just to show what's going on. Then there's another recording by the Arizona Senator John McCain, a former Navy pilot And I went to high school with a Navy pilot, and he had nothing good to say about John McCain, and neither do I. But John McCain said, no, we won't challenge Barack Hussein Obama's nationality. We'll accept it. And the Republican Party went along with it. And the Democratic Party went along with it. And somehow this person was elected twice to be the president of the United States of Washington, District of Columbia, Inc., the color of law governance that's in charge. It's de facto. On page 416 of Black's Law 6, it defines de facto. And de facto is illegal or illegitimate. It also defines de jure, which is the opposite, which is lawful and constitutional. These things make a difference. And we have to start doing something about it. The way we do it lawfully and constitutionally is we provide a grand jury to listen to the evidence, and if there's a preponderance of evidence, then we will use that information and seek a presentment and a true bill from a grand jury. And that's what I'm looking to do, is prepare as much of a case as we can with commonly available information that will provide us with incontrovertible evidence that his position in the White House was illegal and illegitimate. And I wish to do that with our grand jury. Now, I'm not in charge of anything, but I do have the right to ask our secretary to call a grand jury. And if she calls a grand jury from our jury pool, then we will present the case to the grand jury. And we will record it. Hopefully, we can do it in person, as in first person singular of people, like we've done twice before in downtown Portland. That's not my choice either. What we have is a total miscarriage of what lawful is. And it has been going on so long that people have become so brainwashed, and the youth that is post-boomer and part boomer, those people in that era do not comprehend what a constitutional Republican form of government is. They've been raised and educated and MK Ultra'd to the point where cognitive dissonance has taken over completely. Now, I know this because I had that disease until I was 75, and I got cured. I still have all the remnants of the brainwashing that was applied to me from about 1949 on. But I was already 10 years old when they started doing it, so it didn't catch with me as much as it did with others. And lots of people woke up way before me. And I'm standing on shoulders of men and women that knew this a long time ago and couldn't get the traction. And we're having a hard time getting the traction also with the other 32 states and 17 territories. But I want to start cleaning this up with this grand jury that will examine all the information available, and we'll do our best to gather all of it that we can, record it, and bring this information to a grand jury. You have to be born on the United States of parents that are of the United States. You can't be born someplace else and become President of the United States or Vice President of the United States. Kamala Harris was born here of migrant parents. They're still not Americans. She has no authority or any right to be vice president, and they still permit it. We have become so color of law that we don't know how to apply right from wrong anymore. They have a inoculation that goes around and has been around. I think it was brought by warp speed. I have to be careful if I say the wrong word, they'll take this off the YouTube. We've only lost one, to my knowledge, off of YouTube, taken down because I said a wrong word. I think William cleaned it up later and put it back on. It's on Brighteon. I think it went back up on YouTube. But in our constitutional Republican form of government, a grand jury is one of the ways to bring an evildoer to remedy. I don't think justice is possible in this case. You can't undo 8 years and all that went before and after. We've been dealing with this for a long time, and we're stopping it. We stopped it on Oregon last year, 2022, by doing all that's necessary to return to a constitutional Republican form of government, which we did on Oregon. And all of that information is available on www.orsja.org on how to do it, how to form a Jural assembly, how to have a social compact, and how to do what's necessary to return to a constitutional Republican form of government. One of the things that has to be taken care of is the correction of the illegal, illegitimate election if that's what it can be called, now that we found out about, I think they're called Dominion voting machines. Vote means you show up at the polls as a man or a woman, a registered voter with the right to vote, a legitimate vote. Now, they have passed laws and regulations and rules that are not really law. They're de facto. They're color law. And all of us that are men and women, we have to expatriate from being a man or a woman on the land to being a U.S. citizen so that we can vote. And voting is done by people. And people are not U.S. citizens. People are men and women. And we need to go to a polling place on the proper day and vote on a paper ballot. And the paper ballot must be counted by people. And that hasn't happened on Oregon in a long time. And I don't think it happens anywhere anymore. And that has to be corrected. There are so many things that need to be corrected, and we've started the process on Oregon. We formed a grand jury pool that's large enough so that when our secretary calls the pool for a grand jury to appear, that one appears. We've done that 6 times. And a grand jury has appeared each time. From those 6 grand juries, we've had 5 trials. Article 3, Amendment 7. And that's what I wish to do again. And the next one is to determine if there is a preponderance of evidence available that will convince a grand jury on Oregon, the only legitimate one among the several states and commonwealths and territories, to determine, was Barry Soetoro, aka 44, aka Barack Hussein Obama, a legitimate, lawful, de jure president, or if it was bogus and needs to be corrected. So, when you see this, please contact me. www.orsja.org, and let us know what your thoughts are. That's primarily for show because you're not on Oregon and you're not a member of our grand jury pool. So it will be for support only. You don't have a vote. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying, and then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.